Listen, over the past few years, e-commerce brands realized that they need a pop-up on their website to be able to capture more leads and more emails. Now, in 2026 and beyond, they're now realizing that those simple generic pop-ups like get a discount, give me your emails for updates, don't work anymore. People already know they'll be blasted by emails. People already know that there's no really a lot of value for them in that exchange. In this video, I'm going to show you how brands solve this problem by making unique and creative pop-up forms on their website. We're going to go over some of the creative ones from big brands, and then I'm going to show you how I made those myself with Claude Code. We're going to go over the psychology so you can understand how to build it yourself and the reasons behind which pop-up to use where. And after, you're just going to get all the skills, all of the swipe files, everything you need to do to set this up for your business right now. And so with that said, let's get into some of the examples that brand made that actually made me interested. So we have here Geometry House, right? And they have this nice little pop-up game almost where it says basically just try your luck, just dry the pan to see what you've got. And you dry the pan and it says, hey, you got a mystery discount, and you claim it. And then they ask for the email item. Very, very interesting and very interactive with you. I would do it every single time I land on this website because, first of all, it covers the entire screen. And second of all, it's very interesting to do. Let's take a look at another example. It's from Lucky Force. And here we have a game where I have to simply flip 3 cards. And if they match, I'll get a discount on my order. And of course, they'll all match every single time I do it, right? So if I do this, and do this, yes. As we can see, I get a discount now, but it makes me engage, makes me really go into that process. It also looks very nice over here with their core products, right? I can also send to the email. And now let's take a look at another example. This is IMH. So one of the fastest growing brands on earth right now, and even they have a pop-up. And so if you think maybe a pop-up will just feel like a scammer or someone, the fastest growing brand on earth is doing it right now. And so this one, it says just scratch here. And then it immediately says you've won up to 30% off plus free gifts. And you claim it. And again, ask for your email. Let's move to the next one. This is a print card game. It's from True Classic. Essentially, what it does is basically, it says, hey, try your luck, right? Of course, it will always land on the 20%, I'm pretty sure. But let's see. Yes, right? It will likely land 20%. And then such a game that is just give you this. And also very personalized. Take a look at this. Who are you shopping for? Men, women, boys, girls. It's very personalized. Why? Because if you click on women, you'll get different kind of emails. If you click on all 3, you can different kinds of emails instead of just one generic one or just one for all. This is very cool. I really like this. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one is not really unique for the method, but it simply shows how brand message is also very crucial to the pop-up, right? So you all know Liquid Death. They have this kind of evil, devil, sin, all of that type of language, right? And they say in their pop-up, hey, want to cheat on your other beverage company? And now most people will cheat, definitely. They'll just sign up for their email, which is pretty nice language there. So not only the creativity shows up in terms of the language, but also is just simple, which also proves that the power of copywriting is really, really high. If you just make the right words, you'll get a lot of people in. Let's take a look at another example before we jump into the examples I made. This one is the quiz pop-up, right? It's very cool because, again, it covers the entire screen. And almost, for me, there's no escape other than to do this. And it basically says, hey, you've already got a special discount. We just need to make sure we get the right one for you. Super powerful because it's also very personalized, right? And let's say I choose frying and baking, and then yeah, they'll just give me a discount. And I'll be intrigued because I'll say maybe they gave me a discount for specifically for frying and baking good. Like, it's super cool, right? So then I'll just enter my email from there on. What in reality happens is they send 4 types of different emails to each of these answers. So let's say I would choose frying and baking. In my email, they'll specifically mention that pain point of mine. They'll, hey, this will help you with your fried foods or your baking foods better, or it's gonna make it healthier or something. I don't know what. But yeah, so these are the pop-ups that big brands are using. They're absolutely crushing it, and they've adapted to the market where people are not just gonna enter their email every single time. It's very cool. Now, let's take a look at the versions I made, and you'll be amazed. You'll be convinced that you can do this yourself without any external coders and software, any knowledge coding experience. I certainly don't have any, but I made them for you. So first we got Ronaldo and his underwear brand. This is their current pop-up, right? It's very generic, just like new to CR7. Again, the ones that I told you about, very old-fashioned one. And you just type in your email and it's very easy to exit. What I've built for them, because Ronaldo is a football player or a soccer player, I just built this pop-up with a penalty shoot, and then you shoot, and obviously whatever you shoot straight, it'll still be a goal. And then now it feels like a commitment. It feels like something I did. It's not like I did something to get that discount. But obviously I will get it once I submit the email, right? Very easy, low ask. Here's another one. I just made a scratch here just to prove the point that it also can be made with Claude, right? So if you scratch and then, yes, it will give you the headband. Very cool. Another one is for Feastables. Now, this is their current one, right? It's a Mr. Beast's company. Very cool company and very cool colors. But again, like it does look very nice. Look at this colors and fonts. But it just asks for get first dibs, snacks, sweet surprise straight into your inbox. And then it's just like email, and it doesn't engage me in. It is pretty easy to escape because there's a big no button, and there's also one no button that says no thanks, right? Very big. It just doesn't convert as well. What I built for them is something that is related to their product. So what will happen is it says there is a prize under this wrapper, and I'll be like, I want to look at how, first of all, I want to look at how the chocolate looks, but I also want the price. So I'll just do this, and then boom. Again, I think I clicked away, but yeah, you saw it. It's basically an email. Ask me for email, and then my prize will be delivered into my mailbox. Now, another example I built is for a brand, Prime. You all know the brand from KSI and Logan Paul. Essentially, they have this drink, right? Their current pop-up looks like this, which is super ugly, like probably the worst out of all of them. It just says first name, it asks for my email and my phone number at the same time. It also says subscribe. Also, this giant text of terms and policy. Will they steal my information? What's going on here, right? So it's super high commitment, very easy to click away, very small as well. I can just click away here and that's it. Nothing will happen. Now, the version I made for them is a gamified version, right? So again, it says crack the vault. And then it will say like, okay, let me try this code. All right. It says, nope. It says, yes. Yes. And as you can see, like I failed the code, but it says as, yeah, you're close enough. You still get the 10% discount. All good, right? But you just still get it. If you would open it, you'll get a 15%, but like 10%. This is more of a gamified version, but it's still not making a person think that they lost the game. It's still like win for them because they get the 10% discount if they submit their email. This is one of the more gamified versions that you can put as well and test it out. And so after seeing all of this, you now need to just understand the psychology behind building these before you actually try to build this yourself. Because not every pop-up matches with every brand. You need to make sure it's correct for your brand and your situation, and also make sure every single step of the pop-up is laid out correctly. I'm going to show you what are the examples. So first of all, one of the things that is crucial to nail is to make sure you ask last and not ask first. If you ask first, this is basically the friction that creates the people, that makes people exit, right? You'll ask for their email and they'll just leave. That is the friction. But if you just go and do this, you first ask, pick what you're shopping for, pick what you've tried. Here's your match. Where do we send it to? You just told us, where do we send it to? And then it naturally goes into that email, right? So it all should naturally flow. It's like a conversation. It's not simply just random types of words. It is a conversation between you and your customer. over the website. Now, the next thing you need to make sure you absolutely nail is you need to make sure you have the right questions when you do ask questions, right? When you don't have those interactive gamified pop-ups and you want to actually make sure your pop-ups are super personalized to the person, you need to make sure you ask questions the right way. So you first ask, okay, what are you shopping for? And you give them options, right? So they'll click on options and they'll be like, hey, what have you already tried? And then if they click none of them or click some of them, you store that data, right? And what happens with people is people want to finish things. Like if they try to just answer a couple of questions and they see that there's two more until they get a discount, they will go ahead and answer it. And guess what you have? You have now more data, and I'm going to show you what to do with that data later, right? And so then you'll ask, well, which one do you prefer? And then it's more personalized now because based on these two answers, you give them a solution, a dynamic solution, and they'll be like, this is actually still really, really relevant to me. And they'll click on that. And then an optional ask is like, how soon do you need? Because if someone needs it like right now, they're more tolerant to more emails. So you can dynamically change it in your flows and send those people more emails than those people who have said, maybe I even next month or something, right? And so, yeah, and the final one will be obviously, where do we send your match? And that's exactly how you phrase your email capture. You don't say, give me your email, I'll send you this. You just say, where do I send it? You just ask me to do all of this for you. Where do I send it, right? And that way you will get them in really, really easily. Now, another thing you need to absolutely nail when you do these personalized pop-ups, you need to make sure you don't just offer one discount every single time, or you just say, hey, save $10, save this, save that. Instead, what you can do is you can either give them a store credit, and it depends on their answers, or you can simply give them a credit per the thing, per the item they chose. For example, let's say they went through that quiz and they are now choosing dry skin, or maybe a visitor by now chooses the beginner kit or fragrance-free or travel size kit, right? What you can do is you can just literally put those people in different segments, email those people different kinds of emails, and it will now feel like personalized one-on-one messages from you. And now it goes exponential because the more personalized your messages, the more responses you will get, the more clicks you will get, and the more times you will land in the primary inbox, right? So it's like an attack from everybody. You just improve in every single manner. And so now, as I said, you have all of this data. You hook them in. They've answered all of the questions. They've went through more stuff than they would otherwise went through. You now use that information in your email sequences and make it personalized. So for example, for dry skin, you'll say something like, hey, for dry skin, start here. And they just basically told you their goal is dry skin. And then you'll be like, hey, this is how you do it. You told me this, and this is how you do it, right? Again, very personalized. Tried retinol, right? Again, and this is very product niche, but you got the point. I want to make sure you understand the logic, not necessarily the wording specifically. Another point that I've a little bit mentioned earlier is that you need to make sure it's not a real game where they can lose, right? We don't want customers losing because they'll just exit. They don't like you anymore. I lost the game. It's another casino. It's another lottery. You need to make sure every single outcome goes to winning, right? So if you have this kind of circle and they want to spin it to be able to get their email. So what you do is you, instead of saying, hey, you don't get anything if you go to the white one, in here you say, hey, if you go to the yellow one or the orange one, you'll get something. If you get to the green one, you'll get even more, right? That way they don't at least like lose hope in you. They'll be like, yeah, they're very nice. They're giving me options for this. Now let's put this into a little math before you go ahead and create all of these skills. First of all, if we take a look at your account, right? If you have, let's say you have about 150,000, let's say you have about 100,000 people coming into your website every single month. And your current pop-up capture is probably at 2%, right? So 2.5%. What this will allow you to do, with all of these examples that allow you to do, is to increase your pop-up rate at minimum 6 to 7%, Usually it's 10, 12, 14. I've seen 17% of visitors, right? And so let's say it's like 9%, like just you stay on the conservative side. Let's say it's 8% even. And let's say you make $1.20 per subscriber per month, right? And let's just keep this for now. What you will have just to change the pop-up, nothing else. You didn't change any emails, you didn't add any flows, any broadcast emails. Just from now, you're getting 5,390 more subscribers every single month coming in. You now also add a 6,468 revenue a month, and it's basically profit. It's basically profit because you don't spend anything to do all of these pop-ups, right? It's simply the traffic you're already getting. $7,616 a year when you implement this. Again, this is very conservative numbers. You can play around with that, but you will get a substantial amount of results if you just change the pop-up. So now, how to build this for yourself? I'm going to show it to you right now. First thing you need to do right now is to grab the swipe file I made. It consists of 30 plus different pop-ups in different industries that are crushing it in 2026. You can grab it in the second link in the description. It is a link to my Skool community that I've literally opened before making this video. Literally opened before designing. It's brand new. You can join in. Right now it's completely free. It's going to be paid soon as we get more members. Right now it's completely free. Go ahead, sign up. And if you sign up, when it becomes paid, you get all of the resources for free forever. And you get to stay in that community for free forever. It's only for e-com brand owners. Go ahead, second link in the description, and you grab the swipe file as soon as I release it into the Skool community. I'll also release the skills that I've built myself for my own agency inside my Claude. And grab that too. And I'll also give you some prompts to combine with that skill. Skill is already a prompt, but I also use additional prompts on top of that to enhance it even more. So all of these three things will be inside my Skool community. Again, second link in the description. Go ahead and grab it. With that said, if you're an e-com brand owner and you want to work with us and get more revenue from your current emails, the first link in the description, you go ahead and book a call. I'll be able to show you an example of a email flow builder and a pop-up for your specific business to get more revenue from there. Other than that, subscribe to this channel and I'll see you in the next one.